The other problem, before you leave the RFK concept, and we do all appreciate his attitude toward collusion between the government and businesses,
namely big pharma recently,
particularly in the vaccine space and then the pharmaceutical space, his anti-corruption stances. We all appreciate that very much. The problem with RFK is that he's fundamentally a statist. And I mean that in the most loving sense.
Right, yeah.
That, he's a good government type. He wants government to work better. He doesn't want to get rid of it.
Right.
I saw a tweet from, what interests me is I think he's coming around a little bit, but on the environmental side, because that's where he's been for so long.
Yeah.
And he said some really, really bad things that, looking back on it.
Wasn't he like an EPA
he's come
lawyer?
Around, well, he said things like, people who deny climate change should be jailed, things like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This was like 2018, and, people in our circles keep bringing it up, and I keep
You don't have to be a Zane-type anarchist to hate that.
Right. But I keep going back to it, and I keep saying, I'm like, hey, some big things something really big happened between 2018 and now. And then I saw today Gene Epstein tweet at Alex Berenson, because I think they had a discussion back around 2018 where he said some of this, and Gene Epstein, I saw this today, tweeted at Alex Berenson saying, hey, get RFK Jr. on and see if what he said he still holds up to, which would be fair. I mean,
yeah,
I saw an interview he did.
That is fair. Gene Epstein is going to be at Pork Fest too, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think it was an interview with Kim Iverson that he did a couple weeks ago, and when asked on the environmental stuff, he said the free market was the answer, and we don't have a free market, and that he doesn't know a polluter who wasn't subsidized, and that's his first move is to cut the subsidies. And I'm like, there's nothing objectionable to that at all.
He is he's very interesting, like in a lot of regards. And like one of the things that he has said out loud that you will not hear a single other person who's run for president in either of the major parties over the last, I don't know, ever, is that if you show him the evidence, he will change his mind. And he is open to changing his mind at any given time.
That's fair, but fundamentally to have the stance he doesn't want to be opposed for his views against the vaccine or whatever, but then it's okay to say that you want to jail someone for saying something against climate.
No, my point was that people change over time, and I don't think people forgive enough because the internet is forever. And so, like, if you can always cite something from 5 years ago, even if that person has drastically evolved in those,
there was kind of a very, very big event that happened between 2018 and now that, may have changed a lot of people's minds. So I'm open to a lot things.
Yeah, my nephew was born. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big event.
The whole world.
That's what we were referring to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it.
But you got to hold up your hand first and say, "My nephew was born."
Oh yeah, no, my nephew.
All right, we're just gonna put that.
The other thing worth mentioning about RFK, though, and I appreciate what Jake said about willing to change his mind with information and with data. The problem with a guy like RFK, who I really do believe is a good guy,
right,
but is a statist, is always looking for a way to make government better. He's going to naturally be a data guy, not an ethics guy, a principles guy. So, for example, if you were to show him data that said, if we took away everyone's guns in Maryland, we would save lives, and he would say, okay, let's do it.
Right.
That's the problem with being a good government guy driven by data.